What's up, everybody? Welcome to Above the Board podcast with Josh
and Phil,
where we say above the board with Josh
and Phil. We record in front of a live streaming audience on twitch.tv/abovetheboard.
You can catch all of our past episodes.
AboveTheBoardPodcast.com.
So this is our Geekin on episode before we get into our board game of the week or of the month. Who went first last time? I think it was you. Yeah, it was Starfield. Are you still geeking on Starfield?
Like Garfield.
Yeah, Garfield. The lovable.
Yeah, I
Monday
am still
loving.
geeking on Starfield. I made it to the new game plus.
Yeah.
And it is fun in an exciting new way, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's good.
Because you get all the cool Starborn powers.
Oh, I didn't even know about this. Yeah. I thought it was just like it switched up like the missions and all that.
Yeah.
Like you get like perks, I guess, or
yeah,
like
there's perks, and then you also get to be like, when you land, they're like, "Oh my gosh, who are you?" And you can be like, "Look, this is what happened. I'm reliving it." And they're like, "Okay, here's where all the things are." Or you can be like, "I don't know, who are you?" and do the whole story again.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty sweet.
What way are you doing it?
I was just like, yeah,
like an omniscient,
yeah.
like
I'm the
all.
boss.
Yeah. I know everything.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild because it's just like, it gives you one quest with like 8, like, here's where all the artifacts are, go get them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
That's pretty sweet.
And it is like kind of like I care less about people now that I know I'm in a multiverse.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm going to steal this ship. Oh, look, there's one of the pirates who are flying it. It's like, you just killed a colonist. I was like, oh, well. Guess I better kill all the witnesses.
I'm Dr. Manhattan now. I don't care about anything or anyone. This is basically who you become, I guess. That's what it sounds like anyway.
You don't have to be, but
true. Why not?
I'm just going to reboot the universe in a minute anyway.
Given the option, why not be a giant blue naked guy blowing stuff up? I'm glad. How many hours are you in now?
90.
Ooh. Well, I feel like you're only at like, well, I guess you've doubled it.
We said around 80 a week ago.
Oh, did we?
So.
Okay.
I'm like at a much more normal video game cadence for me now that the break is over.
Found the rhythm. So speaking of video games, I'm also playing a new one, the one Prince of Persia.
I'm so excited to play
the Lost Crown. Super good. It is a classic Prince of Persia game, like the Metroid, side scroller.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but they make it a Metroidvania.
That's what I heard, and I love a Metroidvania.
Yeah, and it's done very well.
Prince of Persia.
Yeah, me too, man. So. I love Prince of Persia. I love the OG one, but I really love like the Nintendo.
Okay, yeah. I played it on a Commodore 64.
Yeah.
All about that game.
It's super. I love
the
that.
Genesis version too.
Yep.
I've got the comic for it.
There's a comic for it?
Yeah.
Did it come like with a game?
No, it was like it was made later. Like the creator of it made it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's good.
But I also love the Sands of Time trilogy.
Yes.
That came out on like
great.
Was that PS2 era?
Yeah.
PS2 Xbox.
Yeah, I had on the Xbox.
But
I had the Godsmack song on the second one.
Yeah, the second one went crazy.
Stand alone.
so weird. Like the first one's like a T-rated, like fun, like platformer action adventure game, and then the second one becomes M-rated and it's like super emo.
It is.
And
it felt very mid 2000s though.
Yeah, for sure it did. Yeah.
It's like metal emo.
It was like a 2002 game for sure. No, so Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, I love it. It's great. I love the Metroidvania because I too also love Metroidvania games. The boss fights are awesome, as you should expect them to be.
Oh, awesome.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The different powers you get, they're time based. Like pretty much the since Sands of Time, I guess. The original one didn't have anything with time, did it?
Well, it had a big hourglass.
Yeah.
Like, and as you advance the game, it cut to the princess like looking at the hourglass, because it also had like that hard 60-minute limit.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you couldn't beat Prince of Persia in 60 minutes, you lose anyways.
Yeah. Well,
I remember I had a friend or whatever who was like had a save game where he was like real close, like he had a guide and everything, but he just like had a minute left and could not get to the boss.
That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Yeah, no, this one's got everything you want out of a Metroidvania and a Prince of Persia game. A lot of cool platforming, cool combat, and like I said, the bosses are great. The animation's great. There's like side quests, which is kind of different, but it's cool. Like it's a lot. The side quests are more like hunt down these many things.
Yeah, but just having them is interesting.
Yeah,
I feel like that's not necessarily like common in the Metroidvania.
No, but then you also have like your upgrade your gear, like collect so many of these items and cash them in to upgrade your sword and your what other weapons or items you might acquire. You get these like little amulets that you can upgrade that kind of like serve as like perks that you can equip that give you certain bonuses, like increase your attack when you're in the air, or like if you parry an enemy attack, like a time bubble shows up and anything caught in a time bubble is like slows down. Nice. So you could like follow up with like a couple of counterattacks or whatever before they can react. Stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm probably about halfway through it. And it's very in-depth, very huge. Like, it's massive. Like, awesome. The map itself is it just keeps going. Like, I think, like, I've reached the end of one area. And then all of a sudden, like, I'll do a couple little things to advance the story. And then it's like, nope, you go up here. And this, like, spot that you thought was the edge of the map, it's, like, actually a whole new labyrinth for you to go out and explore.
Nice. That's a good Metroidvania.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I'm just kind of using it to bide my time until the spring big games come out,
Which one are you looking forward to?
Well, not Suicide Squad. The one that's coming out tomorrow, actually, I think.
Didn't it come out like yesterday for an hour and then they turned it off because it was busted?
Yeah, something like that. But no, I am excited for the Silent Hill 2 remake. That looks awesome. I was a big fan of Silent Hill, the series. Yeah. But really only just 1 and 2 and kind of parts of 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, the first game, me and my friend loved playing it. Yeah. I mean, we couldn't get anywhere in it.
Yeah.
But we loved every second of that crackling radio.
Yes, dude. It's so good. And 2 is great because 2 introduces like the Pyramid Head guy that everyone associates Silent Hill with. Yeah. So that's coming pretty soon. The next Final Fantasy VII Remake chapter is coming out soon because they remaking 7, but they're doing it as a trilogy because like they just made the game so huge. Instead of doing like one remake, they're breaking it into a trilogy. So they did Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that came out.
Yeah, I thought that
was
a remake of the whole thing.
Or 2 years?
No,
No,
it was just part 1.
Yep. It was just that one is just up until like halfway through the first disc of the original game. Mm-hmm. And then you have this one coming out in a few weeks, maybe either at the end of the month or early March, I can't remember. But you have just a whole bunch of, like, it's huge apparently. Like, it's like twice the size of what Rebirth was. And apparently it's still not, as far as like the original timeline goes, like it's still just a little tiny chunk out of it. Yeah. So I guess they're saving, from what I understand, a big chunk of like wrapping everything up for the last one. You know what I mean? Because this one, I think, is more of open world exploring Midgard, like the planet.
Oh, yeah,
like a lot of open world stuff.
Does your save file carry over, or do they like?
I think so.
Link up.
Yeah, I think so.
DLC, or is it just a standalone game?
No, it's like I think you can transfer your save file from Rebirth over to this next one. Yeah. Which I'm drawing a blank on what they're calling it. So that like whatever choices you made. Yeah. Will, tie over. And like all the stats and everything, that's whatever. Wild. But yeah, there's a few others that I'm looking forward to that I'm just kind of drawing a blank on. But like every January, February, I always play smaller games.
I'm just really hoping Star Wars Outlaw doesn't come out in the spring.
No, it won't. It'll be a fall game for sure.
They're saying they might get it out before the summer.
Ooh, that'd be spicy.
I'm like, no.
I'd be surprised if they do.
I want it to be a fall release so that can be my game next Christmas.
But then I could also see them doing that because Indiana Jones is like a big hype push, like fall release right now. So like competing, similar.
I feel like they're so different though, gameplay wise.
Yeah, but I mean like the licenses, Yeah. You know what I mean? What else are you geeking on, Phil?
I've got like a rant ready to go about this Barbie Oscar snub.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I feel like I've got opinions.
Okay.
I gotta share them.
Sure.
Okay.
This is a place to do it.
All right. So first of all, Ryan Reynolds is not in the movie. Ryan Gosling, however,
He is, yeah. Correct.
100% deserves an Oscar nomination.
Yes.
For his acting.
Yes.
Like, I feel like when people ask me about Barbie, that's like the first thing I bring up where I was like, he's amazing.
Ken makes the movie.
Yes. Because he just plays it so, like, it's the most ridiculous character. And he plays it so seriously that it makes it 10 times funnier.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, so which is, like, incredible acting. So then, apparently we've snubbed Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Right?
People are up in arms about it.
And I feel like maybe not, right? Like, there's even a joke in the movie about Margot Robbie, like, being obviously cast as Barbie. You know, right? Like,
Yeah.
she's not drinking their milkshake like Daniel Day-Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's not to say she's doing a bad job, but it's not like, oh, what acting! I've been transported to a new world with a new character.
Yeah.
And kind of similar with the direction, right? Like, it wasn't directed poorly at all. It was very good. But, like, Nolan had a special effects team build a bomb so he could film it on actual film. You know, right?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like there's a difference in the direction there.
Yeah.
And so, but I think to me the scandal is that no one's talking about is Greta Gerwig did get an Oscar nomination for writing. And that movie is super well written.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's amazingly, like, the
Yeah.
fact that it's like, it handles the topic of this doll that has these, like, weird ideals that no one can live up to, but is also super accessible.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they
yeah.
tie it into the story really well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, additionally, Margot Robbie did get an Oscar nomination for production.
Did
for
you?
being a producer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the fact that she
Oh, how
got
about that?
this movie made that's so off the wall, that so, like, makes fun of the product it's advertising, and literally makes fun of the executives who make it,
Yeah.
and pulled it off.
Yeah.
Like,
Very
you know,
successfully.
definitely does, like, that's Oscar-worthy work.
Yeah.
And
So funny.
no one's talking about America Ferrera's Oscar nom either.
Yeah, for
Like, she did a
supporting
great
actress.
job,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just like this. It makes me upset because it's like a non-issue, but there's this whole meme about, oh, they were snubbed.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they got the right.
They got their
nominations.
flowers. Yeah.
You know,
I get it.
it's like just because you're not gonna watch the production Oscar winners.
Yeah, that's the thing though with like the Academy or SAG Awards or Golden Globes. They're all. I still love them. I still
Yeah.
love seeing like who gets nominated, who wins, and all that stuff. But I mean, it is also very like country clubbish. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and we all know this.
Yeah.
But I think the point that I'm getting to is that I just think it's so funny that everything is nominated and run by the Academy or by the Ford and Press Association for the Golden Globes,
Yeah.
or like fellow actors and producers and directors for SAG,
Yeah.
which is also what the Academy is. They're
Yeah.
all like, it's like a community of directors, producers, and actors
Yeah.
that are like in this thing or whatever. But no, we're all up in arms about like noms or snubs when it's like it's they're voting for themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I do think it is kind of like a waste of time to like get all bent out of shape. You can be like, oh man, that sucks. But then it's funny that you bring up the point that she's nominated for production and Gerwig's nominated for writing.
Yeah.
So that there's like ultimately no point.
Yes. I know. It's so
It is
goofy.
so funny.
Like, because it's not like they did a bad job directing
Right,
or
right.
acting, but they didn't blow me away,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And the other stuff up there is like really good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where people are clearly acting at another level.
Yeah. Well, and like just like the production value of the movie itself, like deserves, in my opinion, more of the hype and praise than the direction or Margot Robbie's acting.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
It's like they got awarded for things that made the movie great.
Costume, I think art design.
Yeah. We got 8 noms overall.
Yeah,
right?
which
Like,
is insane.
it's really good.
If you had asked me like 5 years ago, no, actually, if you'd asked me like when I saw the first trailer for the Barbie movie,
yeah.
like, hey, do you think that's going to get any Oscar noms? I'd be like, no, it'll make over $1 billion. I saw that coming. Everyone saw that coming from a mile away.
I didn't even watch the trailer. I was just like, Barbie movie.
Well-
Rolled my eyes.
Into another dimension. No, as soon as the trailer hit and I saw the amount that was put into the movie,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it'll easily, for a summer movie, easily make $1 billion. But I had no idea, and I had no inkling or no forethought that it could possibly have 8 noms for the Academy Awards. It's crazy to me, including Best Picture, which is also crazy to me. I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, now that they do 10 movies,
True.
I was like,
Damn.
can you name?
Do you
10?
remember that though? Like when it was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, everything was 5, right?
Yeah.
I thought, and I'm just like, could I name 10 good movies from 2023? So
Best Picture worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
true.
like of all the movies I saw that came out last year.
It's true.
I don't know if I can name 10 that I'd be like, oh, that was the best one.
Like Best Picture, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of like a gimme. I think it's because they got so many people mad on the internet recently, you know?
Yeah.
Where like Barbie was a beloved movie, very successful. I don't think it's top 5, you know, but definitely top 10. I guess it gets a nominee. Well, because it is like you're saying, they're just giving themselves awards.
Yeah.
But they're really marketable.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they're like, guys, we can make more money if we name drop more of our own movies.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good idea.
I saw that Killers of the Flower Moon was nominated for like 13 or something like that.
Oh,
13
wow.
noms. I was like, I don't know about all that.
Didn't you see it?
Yeah, and I liked it. I
I
did
saw
like
it,
it, but not 13 nominations.
Did you see Oppenheimer?
No, not yet.
All right.
But I mean,
But we're going to go next
yeah,
month.
yes. Blocked off on the old
Can't
calendar.
Wait.
Have you seen it yet?
No.
Okay. I'm going to wait then. I'm going to wait.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, I love Nolan. I need to see it or whatever. And I was just complaining about how I can't believe I missed it in the theaters. Like, it's like
I know, right?
I hate myself for it.
I'm like the biggest like opening weekend for 2023 at least.
Yeah.
You know.
And then Luke was like, oh, when it gets Oscar nominations, they'll put it in the theaters again. I'm like, you're a genius. So I've been like waiting every day. I'm like, when are they going to announce it? So I know when to get my ticket.
So I have a couple of TV shows I want to talk about.
Yeah, okay. I knew I had something. I got a TV show to talk about too. Go ahead.
Okay, so the one that I'm like super into right now, it just ended today actually, and I've alluded to it, Hazbin Hotel on Amazon Prime. I love this show.
Hazbin Hotel?
It is a animated musical. It's an animated musical. The premise is that Charlie Morningstar, the daughter of Lucifer, has pity for sinners in hell, and there's an overpopulation problem, so she wants to create like a rehab center to like rehabilitate souls into heaven.
Okay.
And to like on the opposite side of that coin, hell, the powers that be of hell and heaven made an arrangement because of the overpopulation in hell of souls. Every year, angels go down and exorcise like X amount of souls in hell, and it kind of balances everything out.
Okay.
But Charlie doesn't like that. She wants to give everyone a chance to like redeem themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she creates this hotel. And I could go like further into it, but it's such an in-depth, like heavy world building show without it being like intense, like you have to pay attention to it. They just do such a good job of explaining how everything works in the world, like episode to episode.
Oh, man.
The show itself was actually a passion project done by independent artists and animators back in 2019, and it aired on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
It aired on YouTube in 2020, like Halloween in 2020. Just a 20-minute pilot episode because they were shopping it for it to be picked up for a series. And it got like 14.5 million views on YouTube, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But no one picked it up. And then she ended up working on other projects, and then she started doing a spin-off show that YouTube, it's still going as of right now. It's called Hell of a Boss, but it's like set in the same world as the Hazbin Hotel. But then A24 and Amazon Prime, they backed her little tiny independent studio, and now so they have a 2-season for right now series for Amazon Prime.
That's pretty cool.
Season 1 just ended today, literally today. So good, kind of, yeah. I mean, it was more of like a setting up for like the sophomore season, like one of those like easy layups kind of deal.
They know they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's so good, man. The characters, the voice acting, obviously, like the entire cast are like theater. actors. You know, they've got the new Elphaba from the Wicked, like new Wicked production or whatever, because like it went away for a while and then it came back.
Oh, okay.
They have some of the people from Into the Woods. They have some of the people from the Broadway of
Broadway
Beetlejuice.
people doing the voices?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. They have some of the people from the Mean Girls Broadway musical in it. I mean, it's stacked. They got a lot of people. Keith David's in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a couple musical numbers, which is great. The soundtrack
Is he the
is
guy from Atlanta,
amazing. Right? Keith David? No, Keith David is Goliath from Gargoyles.
Oh,
and
he's a Broadway actor.
And Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog.
Oh.
But anyway, so good. It's I've been like obsessed with the show. Mainly the soundtrack. Like the soundtrack has like 15 or 16 songs, and probably a little over half of them are like, you know, family friendly. Mm-hmm. No cussing, no alluded, nothing. So I'll let the kids listen to it, and we've all just been jamming out. I mean, they're bops, dude. Like they're so good. Like it is excellent, excellent, excellent. So Hazbin Hotel, highly recommend.
Okay.
But then also the other one I want to talk about real quick. I started watching True Detective.
Oh yeah.
The latest season of True Detective has Jodie Foster in it.
Yeah.
You dig it, man. I don't know if you've seen any other.
I haven't seen any of them. It seems interesting, but it's like one of those shows where I think I might be interested, but it's like a mystery, so no one will say what it is. You know?
Like what do you mean?
I mean, they're like detective shows.
Yeah.
So no one like tells you the whole thing.
Right. It's like they're like puzzles.
It.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. Like season 1 famously had what's his name? Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. They're like the story was so dark though for season 1 that it screwed them up. Like famously they've talked about interviews since, so they're like, we've had to do therapy, we've had to do this and that. So season 1's great, 2's garbage, 3's great, and then now 4, because each one's like its own standalone thing. 4's awesome. This one takes place in Alaska during the, you know, the 30 days a night type thing. Yeah. And they're really kind of leaning more into the supernatural element of past seasons. Like there's always been kind of like a subtle supernatural thing to them, which it was always, you know, that's going to be my vibe.
Yeah, I know. That's what interests me about it. Because I was like, detective show, whatever.
Yeah,
but
like,
then I was like,
kind of supernatural, kind of weird, creepy. This one's like leaning, so far I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes in, and it's like leaning pretty heavy into that as of right now.
Yeah.
And they're doing a great job, man. It's so good. And the whole like, you know, permanent night atmosphere just makes everything creepier and just moodier. Sure. It's very, very good, man. You should, if you get a chance. Or if you want to start watching it on a weekly basis, you're more than welcome to join our watch party. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway.
Is your watch party you and Randy?
Yeah.
But it's a party.
I mean, it's always a party. If I'm there, it's always a party, man.
That's true. That's what I tell people.
It's what everyone should say about me.
That's why church has been boring these last few weeks.
Josh Ballard's there. It's party. I don't know, no matter what you're doing. No matter what you're doing. Anyway, what you said you had something you were...
Yes. You showed me this show a while ago, and I've finally gotten around to watching it. Resident Alien.
Ooh, what do you think?
I enjoy it so much.
Good.
It's so delightful.
Yes.
I remember, because we were like playing a game while you played the first 2 episodes, and I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I don't know. It's like Alan Tudyk is just great as this like awkward alien.
So good. Yeah.
He's like way too direct because he doesn't understand human culture.
Yes.
And the way he hates that kid is the best.
Yeah.
So funny.
Have you completely caught up, or are you still in the middle of it?
I'm in the middle of season 2.
Okay.
Is there? I think there's only 2 seasons.
Right.
Was it canceled?
No. The 3rd season's coming.
Oh,
but I think
sweet.
the 3rd is the final, so it gets the full end.
Cool.
You know. And I think it's airing this summer, probably.
All right.
It's usually like a spring or summer.
Yeah, and I like the dark humor in it too, a whole lot.
It's so good, man. Awesome. I love it. I love that show. Yeah, Alan Tudyk, like when he's at the mayor's house in the 1st season, and he like tells a joke or something, and he like laughs insane.
Like, it's so funny.
Dude, they had I think it's a USA show, right? Like the network?
I think it was Sci-Fi Original. I don't know. I'm watching it on Peacock.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I think
Because
it's
it's also like, I feel like it was a cable channel because it looks like there's some F words in it, but on Peacock there's like censored.
Yeah?
It's like TV-14 on Peacock. I don't know.
Yeah. Kind of wild. But yeah, no, they when the show first aired, they had like weekly, after the episode, they're like quick little behind the scene vignettes.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean? And like the one of that episode cracked me up because they were showing how similar to like to tie it back to Barbie, how Ryan Gosling like played that character so perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen any behind the scenes stuff. Like no one could keep a straight face.
Oh yeah. No, I mean,
like the beach scene where he's serenading her.
Yeah.
They shot that. Like, it took them forever to shoot the one scene of him and all the kids serenading the different Barbies.
Oh, yeah.
And even in the movie, you can watch, like, a lot of the other Barbies. They can't keep it together.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like...
No, I even remember the big dance number at the end.
Yeah.
Like, Simu Lee is, like, dying laughing. I was like, how is this, like, $200 million movie, someone's breaking in it? Like, what is happening?
Yeah. But, yeah, no, they were talking about that scene where they're at the mayor's house in Resident Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it took them forever to shoot that scene because he kept changing how he would laugh or how he would... Like, he never did the same thing twice. And, like, so it kept throwing them off, and every time he would do it, like, they could not keep it together. And eventually, the original idea was that they were going to do a back and forth shot where it was, like, from behind them, facing him, and then behind him, facing them. But because they couldn't keep it together, they just kept the one shot of him laughing at them and then being like, ooh. But, like, they had no good shots of them, like, keeping a standing character and keeping a straight face. I just thought that was hilarious. It's so good. It makes me happy when, like, someone's having such a good time making something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So good. So, I recently got back into... I've always, like, been huge into music.
Okay.
But like specifically music composition.
Oh, okay.
I really like just the design of music overall, like the sound of music, stuff like that. Like what makes a good beat, melody, so on and so forth.
So Andre 3000's flute album
is wild. I love him for it though. You know what I mean?
I have so much respect for him putting out there what he wanted to put out.
I just love Andre 3000 with all my heart and soul. Like he's such an angel, you know? Like, he really is. You know, like, if you look at my recent playlist over the past, I'd say, honestly, 6 months, I mean, it's just people that are wide range of different types of music.
Yeah.
No country. not a fan of country. But I also recently found that, like, kind of my niche right now, like, that I'm really kind of vibing is, like, blues guitar. I really like bluesy guitar, or blues in general, but if it has, like, a bass or a guitar in it, perfect. It's great. It's great stuff. But I say all that to say that for Christmas, Rainey got me a book called The Storyteller. It's written by Dave Grohl.
Oh, yeah.
Of Foo Fighters fame.
Yeah.
And it is an amazing book. I highly, highly recommend it to anybody who has any sort of love or interest of music, like as an art form. Like, not just like, oh, I listen to music. Like, sure, everyone listens to music. But, like, if you really, really listen to music, you know, and then really appreciate it, this book, man, it's so good. It's like, he definitely tells his whole story, his life story, but it's not in chronological order, which is interesting. He just kind of jumps around and tells, like, different little bits and pieces here and there that kind of fit whatever theme each chapter is. But what I really love about it is that he explains from like an artist's perspective, like what music means to him, you know? Yeah. And it kind of like, for me, like I've just been able to connect with that idea a lot. And it's just cool to see, you know, I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, he's a frontman for a world famous band.
Dude, now I've said for years that he's like a rock and roll genius.
Yeah.
Like he's such a talent.
Dude, he was...
Like, I was telling somebody, and they were shocked that he was Nirvana's drummer.
Yeah.
And they're like, a drummer? I was like, yeah, he's a better drummer than he is a guitar player.
Yeah.
And that's what you know him as a guitar player.
So funny. And then the book, it's so funny you say that, because, like, one of the best stories he tells is how his teenage daughter asked him to teach him how to play drums. And in his mind, he's like, oh, crap. Because he's never been professionally trained.
Yeah.
He's self-taught. He goes on, like, so he starts this story, but then he doubles back to when he was a kid, and he tells a story about how he used to go to this blues bar with his mom every Sunday afternoon. And it was kind of like, instead of karaoke, like someone could sign up and you get up and you could perform whatever set you wanted with whatever blues instrument, you know, horns or strings or percussion. Cool. And he said that one year for his mom's birthday, she basically like coerced him into going out and playing drums, and he had never played drums before in his life. Mm-hmm. He was musically inclined anyway, like he knew how to play guitar and all this. And so he goes up there and he starts playing on the drum or whatever, and the owner of the club is a famous St. Louis blues musician. I'm forgetting the guy's name off the top of my head. Sure. He was just like, let's not do that anymore. And like kind of like accidentally embarrassed him on this like stage in front of everyone, including his mom. But then like after everything, he ran into the guy in the bathroom and he was like, hey, do you train people? And he's like, yeah, man, $5 a thing. And this is like in the late 70s, early 80s, you know? And he goes into he invites the guy over. The guy goes to show him how to like set up a drum set and play drums. And then before he even like gets anywhere, he's like, you're holding the drumsticks backwards. Like you're holding them like with the mallet part instead of the handle part. He lays all that out to talk about like, he hands the drumsticks to his daughter and she just starts like belting out because she's just naturally, you know, musically talented. And he just looks like, this is like the magic that music is. Like it just happens naturally and organically through people that have a natural ear for it. And even for those who don't have a natural ear for it but want to learn, like him, like he never thought to play drums. He was always like, he liked other instruments, you know? Mm-hmm. But because he was pushed to do something he wasn't comfortable with, he became, you know, Nirvana's drummer. Yeah. And then now...
Dude, also the other fact people don't usually know is that the first Foo Fighter albums was all him.
Yeah.
And he hired a touring band who became the band.
Yeah.
But that first album is amazing. I love that album all the time.
So good, dude. So good. But yeah, I recommend... I'll let you borrow it if you want to check it out sometime.
That sounds really cool.
It's a quick read, too. It's not like a...
That's funny, because I feel like I've always been a Dave Grohl fan, but he's like so rock and roll, like he doesn't really do like a lot of interviews or anything.
Not anymore.
like even old stuff, like when they're interviewing Nirvana, they're like, "What do you think?" He's like, "It's cool." It's like so like doesn't care about anything. Yeah. And so like the idea of him having a book is exciting, just because it's like I can tell he's the kind of person if you get him excited about something, he'll talk about it all day.
Yeah, dude.
But if he doesn't care, he's gonna be like, whatever.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. It's such a good read. I loved it. And like I said, it just like, it opened me up, like, got me more into the idea of like really delving into the composition of music more. So when I listen to like new albums now, including Andre 3000's flute album, I just, you know, try to figure it out versus just listening to it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's cool. It's fun. That's what I've been really, vibing lately. Do you got anything else right now?
No, nothing's coming to mind. I'm like geeking out, I guess, on like physical media and home theater stuff. Because I'm gonna get a home theater set up hopefully this year. Yeah. So, but I don't know. It's nothing to say. But I'm just like thinking about speaker placement all the time now.
It's like you're constant on your brain.
Yeah. Like, how many speakers should I get? How big of a amplifier do I need?
Sounds like fun.
How far away do they go?
All right. I'm trying to think if there's... I felt like I had one more. Might have escaped me.
I did have one more, I guess. Keyforge. The latest set just came out. I got the Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah?
And I just... You know I love Keyforge.
Yeah,
I'll just keep bringing it up. Maybe one random person will listen one day and play Keyforge with me. It's so good. Because the newest set, if you backed it, they sent a deck where like the new thing was like going to be in it. Because the decks are like algorithmically generated. Yeah, so they like tweaked it. Be like, oh, here's your backer deck with one of the cool new characters in it. Nice. And I was playing my boy in it. It came out. It was busted. It was so busted. Wow. Like, it was this dinosaur ghost that anytime he fought you, he would capture some of your amber, and all the amber that has on it turns into additional power.
It definitely seems like, unfair.
Yeah. I was like, he's like 30 now. I was like, if you ever kill him, you'll get enough to build all your keys, but good luck.
Jeez. Yeah.
It was a sick draw. I was so stoked. And I think at Gen Con this year, I'm going to try to make sure to get in their Nationals tournament.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I'm super jazzed about Wormspan.
I know. I'm so glad you're gonna order it.
Dude, for sure.
Make that
It's
our
on
next
it.
episode, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe we'll do something before it even comes out.
I'm excited though. Can't wait. But anyway, so what are we jumping into next? Distilled?
Yeah, we're gonna play Distilled today.
All right. Well, stay tuned to the next episode. Goodbye for now.
Don't touch that dial.
You made it to the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening. Make sure to review, subscribe, like, heart, thumbs up, star, or whatever your listening platform lets you do to say we're something a human could listen to. You can message us on Twitter, Facebook, or Anchor.fm with all complaints and corrections. All the links you need are on AboveTheBoardPodcast.com. Stay above the board.
With Josh.
And Phil.
You win. Perfect.